Well, that one was absolutely brutal, Chiefs fans. Welcome back to the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. My name is Jackson Durham, and if you couldn't already tell, today we are breaking down the Chiefs' 26-9 loss to the Tennessee Titans, why it happened, and honestly, I think you could point at all three phases of the game as being deficient for Kansas City in this one. I genuinely think there were issues on all three sides of the ball, just a whole systems failure for Kansas City, and pretty understandable. We talked about it going into this one with 9 guys missing this game, not including Patrick Mahomes. Not guys that are already on injured reserve, just 9 guys that could have played that were missing this game, including a number of key pieces on the offensive line. Rashee Rice was out of this one. Trent McDuffie was out of this one. Leo Chanel was out of this one. And you felt that impact of all of those losses massively. Absolutely massively. You really, really, really did. We're going to get into all of the errors for Kansas City. We're going to break down why we lost this game. But first, I want to hear from y'all. Grade the Kansas City Chiefs' performance today on a scale of A to F. Do you want to give them an A, a B, a C? If you're giving them an A or a B, I don't think you watched the game. I'm not going to lie. C even would be pretty generous, but let me know, what are we going with? Anywhere from A to F. Guessing the grades are mostly going to be between that D and F range. And let's talk about why. Let's talk about why they should be between that D and F range. But first, let's talk about the injury news. Gardner Minshew exits with an ACL injury in this one. What is likely an ACL injury, I should say. We have not gotten MRI results back at the time of filming. It is currently 7:10 p.m. on Sunday, December 21st. But here's what we have right now from Derrick of Chiefs Digest. He was the one who broke this story, saying Chiefs quarterback Gardner Minshew likely suffered a torn ACL in his left knee against the Titans today. Sources tell Chiefs Digest. He will undergo an MRI to confirm. Patrick Mahomes and Gardner Minshew suffering torn left ACLs in back-to-back games is crazy bad luck. And Matt, couldn't have said it better myself, brother. That is unbelievable bad luck. It really, really is. Looks like Chris Oladokun, who took over the rest of the way today, will likely be the starter for the remainder of the season. Probably will see Kansas City pick up a backup. I think we're going to put together a video on possible backup options tomorrow. Just a couple names that Kansas City could sign. Don't expect a superhero running through that door. I mean, it's way too late at this point. But losing Minshew at the end of the day thins you out at quarterback, but I'm not going to lie. Minshew looked bad today. The offense looked bad with Minshew in. They looked bad all game long, pretty much. A couple of decent field goal drives, but we're playing the Titans, man. We looked miserable on all three phases. Never even had a chance in this one. The offensive line, just Jawan Taylor, no Jalen Moore, no Josh Simmons, all three of those guys out. And Esa Pele, who I'd given a lot of props to in his fill-in work in the past, he really struggled tonight. Multiple false starts early in this one of which was just absolutely brutal. Sets up the safety. We're talking about the role special teams played in that safety a little bit later. But Pele and Godric as bookends, Chew Godric, continuing, I think this is his second NFL game right now. Kind of shows you what we've got out there. 2 guys who've played, I think, 4 combined NFL games starting at tackle for you. And they didn't play well today. They looked like guys with about the level of experience I just described to you. Wasn't good against a defensive front that, while not, I mean, obviously the Titans are a bad football team. That defensive front is really good. It's led by Jeff Simmons. He's a very good player. And they had their way tonight, especially on that safety. Brutal play. And it was set up by a special teams penalty, which, again, we're going to get into it. I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. Chris Oladokun, we'll talk about his performance a little bit. When he did come in, I was actually pretty impressed. I think he finished 10 for 15 for a little over 100 yards. No touchdowns, no picks. Not bad, but at the end of the day, he was never going to come in and turn it around. That offense depleted of its best weapons in that moment. Patrick Mahomes makes the whole thing go. Like, if you had been blaming Patrick Mahomes for the way the Kansas City Chiefs were this season, I need you to go down in the comments and comment, "I am sorry, number 15." I might even have to do it because I've been harsh on Patrick Mahomes, but watching this offense without him today, I think it was just, I think it's pretty eye-opening, right? We know Patrick Mahomes is fantastic. We know he is the most valuable player on this team. But man, how different did it look today? How bad did it look today in a lot of ways? Just not good. Run game, not helping at all. Moving on to another aspect here. Basically no run game whatsoever. We averaged under 4 yards per carry again. Abandoned it again. Understandable given the way the score went, but it's not going to help you when you get this one-dimensional. Talk about it again and again. Even against a team like the Titans, you can't win playing one-dimensional football. You're just never going to win that way, especially not when all three phases are bad. All three phases bad in this one, guys. Just can't reiterate that enough. We're going to talk about exactly how bad the defense was in just a minute. But first, I got to tell you guys about something that is the literal opposite of bad. It is absolutely fantastic. And you guys already know I'm talking about Omaha Steaks, the literal number one name in the holiday gift industry, at least in my house. I love Omaha Steaks. Personally, love cooking them up. Actually, just finished some juicy burgers from Omaha Steaks. Threw them on the stove when I got home from work. Cooked them up in just a few minutes, and it was fantastic and absolutely easy. And guys, I'm sending them out to my future sister-in-law, future brother-in-law as their holiday presents as well. Again, hopefully they're not listening to these, getting that surprised for them. But if they are, I know they're already stoked. Mouth's probably already watering for the unrivaled quality and variety with every bite of Omaha Steaks. It's all backed by a 100% guarantee. And guys, as I always say, right now is the perfect time to save on delicious gifts during the holiday season because I've got an exclusive deal just for our Chiefs Report viewers. The Kingdom is going to save an extra $35 off with promo code Chiefs at checkout. So save big on unforgettable gifts with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide and an extra 20% off select favorites during their Sizzle All the Way sale. And again, for an extra $35 off, use promo code Chiefs at checkout. That's omahasteaks.com, promo code Chiefs at checkout. Terms do apply. See site for details. And as always, guys, the link will be in the description and in the pinned comment. If you want to go check out Omaha Steaks, we absolutely appreciate it. And make sure you use promo code Chiefs to save yourself some money and support the channel. Win-win right there. But let's get into how the defense performed. I need you guys to know, Tennessee, coming into this game, had scored more than 25 points. They scored 26 today. One other time this season. Literally one other time they did that all year long. And they just did it on us. Our defense, which at times I've praised this season, abysmal today. They made Cam Ward, who has had a rocky rookie year, to say the least, behind a rocky offensive line and a piss-poor supporting cast, look like a seasoned veteran throwing to some superstars. 21-28 for 228, 2 touchdowns, and no picks for Cam Ward. He had some insane throws today. Some absolutely unbelievable stuff from him. And some of that's not even on your defense. Like, at the end of the day, you're really not going to defend that one where he's rolling to his left, throws it right in the bucket for, I think it was Io Manor. Like, you can't, there's no defense for the perfect pass, as Dan Marino liked to say. But they weren't all perfect passes. Not all 28 of them were perfect. He made some great throws today, but you have to do a better job of making his life difficult, both in coverage and, as I've said all year long, is a deficiency of this football team, You can't get pressure on anybody. You can't do it. You had 2 sacks tonight, started off decent, but then you start getting stonewalled by one of the worst offensive lines in football. Dan Moore Jr. and J.C. Latham holding up for the first time like in their entire careers. That's embarrassing. I don't know what to say. It just is. You know, like when you can only get home with blitzing, and we talked about this all year long, it makes you very susceptible on the back end. And when you cannot win one-on-one, as with pass rushers, you're never getting home. You're never affecting Cam Ward rushing 4 and still being able to cover. That's why we stink at defending the pass right now. That's why we just made Cam Ward look like an all-pro. And that should frustrate you. I think it really should. You know, this is a bad football team that we just played today. I know we've got a lot of injuries. I know it's rough right now. But if you've got any pride, this should suck. It does. I hope this locker room feels it right now, because that is one that should suck for you. That team had lost 11 consecutive games in front of their home fans. We just let them win their first home game since November 3rd of 2024. Merry Christmas, Titans. Signed the Chiefs. How bad was the run defense today, by the way? Just to keep things going here. Man, did we miss Leo Chanel. We really, really did. Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears just running rampant. 154 yards on 34 carries for that duo. Bunch of missed tackles. I mean, at times that offense looked like the Philadelphia Eagles. They're just bulldozing. Just rolling through with the run game. Makes life really easy for Cam Ward, too, on the back end. When you can be that multiple. Something we've talked about wanting to get Kansas City to this season. Wanting to see from us. Can we be a more multiple offense? Can we go under center? Can we run the play action from under center? Can we run from under center? Too late. So that's the defense. Let's talk about the special teams. And this is where, if you thought this was a rant before, this might get even worse. Let's start with the penalty that set up the safety. I hinted at it earlier. Bad illegal block in the back. Ends up setting up our drive at the 2-yard line to begin. Esa Pele then commits his second false start of the game, and then Kareem Hunt takes a carry about -3 yards into our own end zone for a safety to open the game 0-2. And, you know, you're never in that position if you don't have an illegal block in the back on the punt return. And look, should it have also been fair catch interference? Yeah, absolutely it should have. What the hell? Total miscall there. Like, I hear you on that. I really do. But at the same time, this is not the first time we have had stupid penalties on punt returns. In fact, I feel like if you were to just bet, and I don't even know if you could do this, but if you were to just place a bet on like Chiefs punt return penalties every time there was a punt to the Kansas City Chiefs, you'd probably make a crap ton of money on the whole season. You probably would have made an unbelievable amount of money. You might be one of the richest people on earth, depending on how much you bet on that. Because I swear it happens 3 times a game, every single game. We have these kinds of issues. We've had issues with Harrison Butker all year long. Hey, that reared its ugly head again today. Missed kick from 51 yards. He actually made a really nice one from 54. Props to you on that one. Another gimme from 35. But did you know that was the first time he made a 50-plus yard kick since week 3 of this season? That he hadn't even attempted one. We'd been punting from that range because we don't trust him. Because why the hell should you? Because for the last 2 years, he sucked from beyond 50 yards. And so, all that being said, I want to remind you, he's the highest paid kicker in the entire NFL. Yeah, he is. Let's think about together, what has our special teams unit done well in the year 2025? In my opinion, one thing: punting. We've punted well, and we've punted a lot. But Matt Araiza has been quite good, undeniably. Absolutely. So we've got one positive going for our special teams unit, led by special teams coordinator Dave Toub. Does anybody else think you should get to keep doing your job if you are only good at one of its many vital areas? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think that's a very good employee in any field who's just good at doing one thing or leading in one thing. And can you even give any of that credit to Toub? Araiza is like a generational punter. They called him Punt God in college because of how good he was. Obviously, other things kept him from going on to the initial career he should have had, but all that is whatever. We're not going to get into that right now. But Toub has literally, I don't think you could genuinely say he has contributed anything positively this season to the Kansas City Chiefs. All he's contributed is a culture on special teams that allows rampant mistakes, that allows a non-productive punt return unit and kick return unit that doesn't set up our offense for success, allows our kicker to miss regularly and doesn't bring in any competition for him and just allows things to continue going the way they've been going because, as he routinely says, hey, we'll get it figured out someday. Win. We got 2 weeks left in the year, brother. We're still making stupid errors on special teams that are leading to safeties and losing to 3-win football teams. Titans are out of the running for the first overall pick, thanks to us. Yeah, let's hang that banner. I'm getting bitter. I am. I know. But at the end of the day, if you don't think we should fire Dave Toub, I think you are contributing to a culture of zero standard for our coaching staff. And if that's the culture for the coaching staff, why shouldn't that be the culture for the players? Why shouldn't that be the culture for everybody in the organization? If there's just no standard, if we could just allow mistakes to go on and on and on all season long, and there is no correction for them. It's unbelievable. I don't think you should stand for that. I don't think you should get to keep doing your job when this is the product we consistently put out as a special teams unit. And no, special teams is not the only issue with this team, but it has been a consistent and recurring theme. I was calling for us to do this in like week 7. This is not the first time I've said it is well past due for Dave Toub to go. But I'll keep saying it until they do, because this isn't good enough. And somebody needs to be held accountable. Tomorrow, we are going to be breaking down some of the major rumors right now around one of our other coordinators, Matt Nagy, and where he might be headed this offseason. All that and more on the Chiefs Report tomorrow on Monday. Until then, let's go Kansas City Chiefs. Enjoy Sunday Night Football. Happy holidays, and I will see you guys then.